If you're wondering where to get art, culture, history, and perhaps even science all under one roof, then you'll be happy to know that the Apartheid Museum has applied to reopen its facilities under Advanced Level 3 of the national lockdown. Wade Darby spoke to us on why museums are still relevant under current conditions.
If you look at, for example, the Apartheid Museum, it's a really big museum because you can do the social distancing. You can feel happy about that, the fact that there will be sanitizing stations, you must wear your mask. And so in looking for ways in which to leave your home at this time, museums are really safe spaces. In terms of the messaging, I mean, each museum has got its own message, but the Apartheid Museum's message is really an education about the pitfalls of racism and prejudice and discrimination. And I think in this time, it's a really important message to get across. And I think people will appreciate it now. And I suspect that we will probably get quite a lot of local people now, which hasn't been the case in the past. I suspect that South Africans will be looking for places to go to that will inspire them, that will remind them of how wrong it is to practice discrimination and racism, and perhaps be a kind of catalyst for them to move forward in a more positive way.
We also found out from Darby how they will ensure COVID-19 compliance at the museum.
So our preparations obviously is to have the place deep cleaned and have our sanitizing stations in place, to put in place signage for social distancing, to ensure that there's no guided tours, to protect our staff, to have visitor screening, to have employee screening. So it's a whole list of regulations that the minister has put in place.
The museum will also jump on the online bandwagon to create virtual experiences for those who might be unable to reach its facilities.
For the Apartheid Museum, we're in the process of looking at a virtual tour of the museum. We've just received quotes and looking at how best we could do that. For Mandela House, if you go on to mandelahouse.com, we've just completed a virtual tour, which is amazing. You feel like you are in that house, you experience it. And the only problem with those things is that you can't put it on a paying platform because then it becomes expensive and people can't afford it. South Africans can't afford it. I mean, internationals can definitely afford it.
As we celebrate the reopening of museums, let's also remember that this Sunday and for the rest of August is also a special time for us women. From leading revolutionary marches like that of 1956 to reaching the peak of Mount Everest, winning the title of Miss Universe and owning the corporate space, women continue to be game changers. This year, we will not focus on the social injustices that still prevail against us, but rather on upliftment. We will focus on empowerment. We speak to NGO Women for Women on the subject.
I think, it's a double-edged sword. We have to stay optimistic and still remember to celebrate ourselves, not to let everything that is currently happening to women also become our burden, so to say. As women, I feel that we have a lot to celebrate, and we have to celebrate ourselves, because if we don't do it, then nobody else will. We are great mothers, we are leaders, we are achievers, we've grown from strength to strength. So yes, definitely we have a lot to celebrate, but we also need to not sweep under the carpet what is happening in our society.
We also took to the streets to get some tributes.
Ladies, let's do this. Let's rock. Let's work for ourselves. Let's empower ourselves. Let's celebrate Women's Month like every day, like any other day. And yeah, that's just it.
I think it's a special day. It's something that we need to be reminded of at least every month, not just 1 month, because we know the struggles that women go through every day. It's not once a year that they have challenges, So, but at least they get a month where their issues get attended to.
My message is you can do anything, any job. If you want, like men, back in the day, they used to be like, no, only men can do this job. But I think that women can do anything they want. If you want to be a pilot, I think you should be a pilot. Discrimination is not a thing. I think you do what you want and what you're comfortable with.
I'm Jenna Dover, and you're watching Joburg Today.